Hey guys, welcome to the Max. As you see, we're hanging out with the sheep and the pigs today in the sheep and pig forest because we've got to move them and kind of go through with normal chores. But today starts the new little series that we're going to start, and you hear she's excited about it. It's going to be Financial Friday. So basically we're going to be doing some talks on the finances, not really just on farm, but what can help your home, what can help your family, and ultimately what can bring us all better to a better financial peace as we get older in this life. So if you're not a farmer, that's okay. If you're not a vlogger, that's okay, because all this can benefit you, and there's going to be 3 easy steps we're talking about today to get financial freedom as you start your walk to a better you. Are you gonna be quiet? Or are you gonna let me have it? She knows it's time to move, so she gets a little antsy. So guys, today we're going to be talking about something that I really enjoy. I really enjoy talking nerdy math, financials, budgeting, things like that, because all of that can make us better. To me, our marriages, our family, our farm, our home, our work, our whole life will be better when we have a better financial peace, when we kind of understand what we're doing and trying to seek wisdom. James 1:5 says, whoever seeks wisdom, ask, and it shall be given to us abundantly. That is the Colby Mack version. So please understand, when we come to talk about this, we are always seeking wisdom. We're always trying to find guidance to be better. If you're watching Dave Ramsey or Susie Orman or Dan Celia or whomever it is that you really like, or someone on YouTube, understand that everybody has a different way. There's not to say there's a right or wrong way, but what I will say this is, you need to get to financial freedom and financial peace. And it kind of starts with 3 easy steps that we're going to go over, and we hope that this helps you. So let's jump into step 1. Step 1, the most important, because guess what? You can't earn money, you can't lose money, you don't know what your budget looks like without what? A budget. So I would say plan and budgeting is 1. You have to know what your goals are. You have to write those things down. You have to know where your money goes, because ultimately that's what's going to help you start your financial freedom. Without a budget, you don't know where that dollar went, where this dollar went. And you know, you've been like me, you've been like a lot of other people say, you know, I've made X amount of dollars, and for some reason at the end of the month, I don't know where I spent it all. Or I have this credit card entry, or we have all this money going out and nothing coming in. We have none in savings. Why? Where did we spend all this money? And then we start blaming each other, especially if we're in a marriage or dealing with our children. We start saying, well, why'd you spend this, or why'd you do this? Here's how you solve that problem. You start a budget. You get a plan, you sit down, you have a meeting, you say, okay, wife, husband, whomever, let's get together. Let's find out where our money's going. The falsity of anything is to think that it all comes down to making more money. You got to make more money to have financial freedom. That's one small part, because when you have a bigger amount of money, you tend to spend a lot more money. So here's what I'm saying. Just having a bigger shovel to cover up a hole doesn't help you. It may dig you way deeper into debt. So understanding that the fact is not what you make, it's how you spend your money. How do you spend it? So if you don't know what your bills are, and you don't know what you're spending on outside foods, or you don't know what you're spending on, you know, this insurance or that insurance, or this car note or this house note, or you know, this Burger King bill, or whatever it may be, you need to find that out. And so what I would say is set up a budget that is based on, you know, the things that you're always using, the things that never change. If you have a draft in your account, you know what those are. That's not where your money is tend to be spent that costs you and that you don't understand where it goes. It's what you call the discretionary budgeting, the discretionary income, the things that you're spending outside your typical home, your typical insurances, your typical car note. All those tend to be the same. So understanding the budget may come down to, I may not need to eat out today. We may need to eat at home. I see that I spent X amount of dollars on Amazon this week. I probably don't need to do that every month, because that's $50 extra I could have. So building a budget is number 1. Now, budget planning, you're gonna bomb your first few budgets. But guess what? Every month you have a new budget, so you can start over next month. It usually takes you 3 to 6 months, I would say, on your budget to ever really perfect it. And guess what? I've been doing it since about we really got serious budgeting around 2009, 2010. So for the last 10 to 15 years that we've been really entrenched in learning our budget, our financial freedom, and learning our farm and our family, all that stuff goes together. The only way that we actually really learn is we go through every month. And so this month we may do something stupid and bomb on the food budget or on this budget, or we need to buy something off Amazon. That's okay, but understand if we are buying something this month using this amount of money, we need to make sure that we're saving this amount of money for next month to help cover the loss that we have. We will go more in depth on budgeting and talking about how to budget, what to budget for, but that is point one, and this is kind of skimming the surface of a big series of the financial freedoms that we'll release on Fridays. All those F's come together, it's crazy. All right, number two, you need to learn to tell your money where to go. And what I mean by that is once you've got your budget set, you need to say, okay, where can I skim a little bit? Do I really need to eat out today, or can we just eat a PB&J at the house? Learn to save money where you can. Now, if you've got a car note, I hope that you will get out of car debt for sure. But understanding that you need to get to the next step, we need to start saving money. The only way to save money is to know where it went. So now we've got our budget. We see our budget working. We see, okay, we've spent, if we have $100 and we're spending 50 of that, half of that on a house note and a car note, then that doesn't give us a lot of money to play with. So therefore, you're going to take those little pieces down to the pennies and dollars and say, okay, I could probably save here. And that may be, I may not eat out this week or this 2 weeks or this 3 weeks. Try it. I promise you, by saying, let's cut this part of the budget, you really get serious and you'll understand the severity of where you spend money. One day you'll wake up and say, gosh, I wasted so much money. But it's never too late to start. So make sure once you got your budget, which is step one, come to step two and say, okay, now let's clean the budget up. So part of step two is if all of a sudden you see, okay, we've made our budget, we have now learned where we're spending money, and we're going to cut these budgets. We're going to learn to save money. Here's where you get creative. Let your kids be part of this. Like for instance, when me and Misty were first married, we were broke. It was just, two 20-year-olds, and we were 19 and 20, and we had no money. I mean, it was one of those things that I was actually working 2 or 3 jobs. Misty was still in school to be a nurse. At the time, we didn't have children. And instead of going out to eat for $30 at that time, $25, $30, we would cook this cool meal at the house, spend about a third of that, and then we would go out and get a dessert. Now, I'm not saying you need to get a dessert all the time. I'm not even saying you need to spend that money. But what it was a creative way that we made memories. So now we'll talk about the chocolate decadence pie that she got, or the bread pudding that I got. But ultimately, it's good memories because we saved a certain amount. Don't go crazy and start cutting your budget to say, okay, we're gonna be like that and crazy, and your family ends up hating you. So understand moderation. Understand, let's work on one thing at a time. So if we're eating out 3 times a week, or if I'm going to work and we're eating out at lunch every day, that's a lot of money. So let's worry about, okay, let's bring a sandwich today, or let's make enough for leftovers tomorrow. Let's buy in bulk at Walmart, because that will help us save on our budget. That's the main key. Understanding you need a budget and plan. Have a goal. Secondly, clean the budget up. Understand that you need to save money in certain areas and not spend in certain areas. Thirdly is understand, don't go crazy. Do it in moderation. If you get $10 more a week, or you get $15 more a week, or you get $20 more a week, that could be $40, $60 to $80 extra a month. Say you go big and all of a sudden you can free up a $50 a week. It's all about starting small, because ultimately small pennies end up being big dollars. Remember that. The small money ends up growing and being big dollars. Here on the farm, we may sell eggs for $2 or $3 a dozen. That's not a lot of money. But when you sell 100 dozen a year, or say we sell milk and we sell it for $4 or $5 a half gallon. Well, if we sell 500 gallons, she's ready to go to the new paddock. Say we sell soap, or we sell honey, or we sell elderberry, whatever we are doing, all those add up and make more money. Say we skip out eating out at lunch for $5. Say we skip out buying that Amazon thing that we could really wait till next week. Say we skip out and don't eat out for 3 weeks. Think of the money you're saving. So not only are you saying, hey, we're maybe making some money, let's put that money back, let's just kind of put it in a little safe at the house, let's put it in the bank. Hey, we saved $50 at Walmart this 2 weeks. Let's go ahead and find a way that we can utilize that for next month, because we know we're going to have a big expense. So we're trying to plan, because our budget shows that we may need some more, because we need something coming up. It all comes down to budgeting. Do a budget and plan. Learn where your money goes so you can clean up your budget. And thirdly, learn to use your money wisely, but don't be crazy about it. 1% better a day can make a huge difference. And ultimately, this will make your marriage better. This will make your family better. This will make your home, your farm, your work better. Because when you have financial peace and financial freedom, it makes a huge difference in your marriage, because you wake up a better person and you get to go to work, you get to enjoy making money, because it's not spent before you get it. You're telling it where it needs to go. Show your dollars who's the boss. Before I end this video on the budget talk, you may not like this comment, but I'm just going to be real with you, because I'm going to tell you by experience. You can't have a budget, you can't plan well, you can't save money, you can't be wise without tithing. So part of our budget is always devoted to tithe, because we believe that way. We're a Christian family, and I will say this, our budget never goes where it needs to go without tithing first. So if you are a Christ believer and you believe in tithing, don't ever give that up. Understand the tithe helps further. First of all, it teaches obedience, teaches a better budget. You're saying, oh wow, I've lost 10% of my income. But what it does, it teaches us to be obedient. That obedience goes through our whole budget, because then we realize priorities. We tithe, we pay our house note, we pay our cars or our food bills. We learn what's important, and that actually helps our budget more than anything. Understand your budget, abide to your budget. You and your family work together on your budget, because ultimately when we're doing this together as a husband and wife, or we're doing this together as family and kids, when we're doing this together, that's what having financial freedom really is being to be with them and enjoying the life that we've been given, instead of stressing about every dollar. Understand where it goes, so that way you can tell it where it goes. Save where you can. Don't spend on this. And of course, give your tithe. God bless. Have a good day.